weren't straight.
No, you weren't.
I know.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Highly Taken Podcast, episode 12. Coming back to you today, David Seibert from Tallahassee, Florida.
Christian Smith from Wilmington, Delaware.
Nick Smith back here at Jacksonville. Hey, let's get it, guys.
All right. So it just feels weird. You should have cracked open a drink, Nick. It just feels weird that you
I
didn't
know.
do that.
Sorry.
Wow.
But no, so we're gonna do so it's the weekend, so we're gonna almost the weekend, but we're going to do our Gone in 60 Seconds. I will list off some very, very wacky sport, and they will finish something in the 60 seconds that it takes to read off. So when you guys are ready, let me know.
Ready when you are, big dog.
All
Give
right,
give me like 2 seconds to just prepare myself.
mentally or physically?
Yes.
I think
Okay,
both.
that's fair. That's fair.
Okay, I'm ready.
On your marks, get set. Today we talk about a sport that's goal is to get that bread. I'm not going to lie to you. This sport really puts people into a pickle. So let me help you catch up on a great sport. I'll stop procrastinating. I'll get to the meat of this sport and let us tell you about a beautiful sport. It is called First to Take a Bite Out of the Sandwich. The goal is, the first person to take a bite out of the sandwich wins. A sandwich is dangling by a string in the middle of a wrestling ring. The participants have their hands behind their backs, they're tied, and their goal is to just take one single bite out of the dangling sandwich. However, you are allowed to use body checks to try and stop your opponent from taking a bite out of the dangling sandwich. You can't use too much force, for that is a penalty, but you have to be offensive and defense at the same time. This seems like a great sport I can sink my teeth into, but I don't know if it would be like different weight classes. I don't know. Like, I feel like if I went against a sumo wrestler, a really hungry sumo wrestler, I'd be screwed.
Yeah, you have no chance if there's no weight class over there. So you fight over a sandwich.
So, yeah, there's a sandwich that's going to be dangling by a string, and you're going to be with your hands held behind your back.
60 seconds up?
I mean, I guess. I didn't count.
Yeah, it had to be.
I'm not finishing that.
Oh,
But
you are. Since you didn't finish, you still have to finish it.
I thought, wait, what? I thought it was 60 seconds and then we
You
stopped.
failed, but you still have to finish.
Yeah, you still have to finish it. I mean, minimum. That's not what we do
Keep
around
talking.
here.
Keep talking.
So, I mean, what do you like? Is it like WWE where they had the ladder challenge
Yeah, it's
and stuff?
basically it's like the ladder challenge where they have like the money, you're trying to get that down, but instead you just take a bite out of the sandwich.
But you also have your hands tied behind your back?
Your hands are tied behind your back, and so people can like body check you, because if you have your hands not tied behind your back, you can just grab it and eat it really easily. It makes it harder. You can't really grab it. And it's like, because it's on a string, it kind of spins around. So even if you do try to take a bite out of it, it could just get pushed forward.
Listen, man, I say you make it like WWE and put the ladder in there.
Put the ladder in there.
Yeah, and see how we do.
It'd be really hard to climb a ladder without hands.
That's the fun, the joy of it. Man, I'd be at the bottom of it, just body checking the ladder. Whoever's on it.
You would be a bottom.
Woo.
You would be a bottom. That makes sense.
What's wrong with the bottom? You get to watch all the action.
Christian, how you feeling down there?
Dude, I would love to say the name of what was in that drink on TV or camera.
Water.
Bro,
That was the worst water you've ever had.
that was the most disgusting water I've ever.
You got it straight from that sewage plant.
Oh, but we're gonna get into it. This is rough. NFL and college football aren't back for another 3 months. NBA's over.
I spilled alcohol on my computer keyboard. Sorry.
Water.
You spilled sewage water on your computer.
Sewage water. Yeah, I spilled water on my keyboard. I'm sorry, guys.
Dude.
Anyway, like I was saying, NBA's over now. NHL's over. We have football in 3 months. We're in that dead zone of sports where it's just MLB being played. No, we're going to try to find some ways to cover those sports still. So for now, we're going to go into top 10s of current football positions. We'll do offense one day, defense next, and then we'll try to flip-flop that. So
Yes, sir.
get ready to be upset about our top 10s. So we're going to do NFL top 10 current tight ends. And from somebody who does not have a tight end, we'll let Christian go first.
Yikes. All right. Well, that's fair enough.
Looks like a roast beef sandwich.
Start off the top 10 here, boy. I'm going to roll at number 10 with Mike Gesicki. I've liked Gesicki since he was in Miami. Biggest problem with him is I don't think he has the size as much as most tight ends do. But what he doesn't have in size, he makes up for it in his speed and athleticism. He's a good route runner, not a crazy great route runner, but he's not a bad runner. He makes strong catches. He can jump. He's like another wideout, but he's just not, I'm sorry, he's not big enough. Damn it, bro, that
Y-
made no sense.
Yo,
Pause.
I don't. I mean, that is a jump
I
for him,
I did
man.
not have him in my top 15.
That's
I don't
crazy.
even have him like top. He's hovering at top 20, dude. If you don't say Dawson Knox is on this list after that, I'm gonna be surprised.
I don't have Dawson Knox on this list. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Wow.
Number 9, I have Darren Waller. No, he's not a guy that I will argue as a top 5 anymore. Only, and that's because due to production issues and injuries. But it's still, at the end of the day, he's a very good tight end. He's now playing for the Giants, and if he will get a lot of offense completely depleted at the wide receiver position. I think the combination of the size and speed that he has always played great for him, and that will continue to play well for him this year. I think we'll see another flash like we did from 2 years ago from him with another 1,000-yard season because he's going to be Daniel Jones's main target. But the truth of it is, we just don't know if he can stay healthy or not, so we can see all of that. Number 8, I have Pat Fryermuth from Pittsburgh. Former second-round pick is really starting to make a name for himself over there. He's really starting to be able to elevate his play. My biggest concern for this guy, though, would be the touchdown production, having 7 his rookie year to only 2 last year, but everything else went up. He posted 430 yards in his rookie year to jump it up to 750 in his sophomore year, and he doubled his amount of targets as well. I expect to see another jump out of him coming here, though, in year 3 with Tomlin and that Pittsburgh offense just being younger and learning all more and more together. But for now, he's sitting at the 8 spot.
Listen, I will say Fryermuth. I mean, you got a first-year quarterback throwing to you, and in the red zone, I mean that's where tight ends live is the red zone. So it's hard to have that production down there as a rookie quarterback throwing the ball. But go ahead.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Number 7, I gotta go with my man, me and Nick. I feel like we got into arguments about him before. Dalton Schultz, baby, sitting at the 7 spot. I'm gonna go with Dalton.
I can like him now.
Schultz.
I can like him now.
We can like him now. That's true. We can have somewhat positive feelings.
Well,
about
that's
him.
what I said. I don't like anybody that played for Dallas for the most part, but thankfully he's out of there, so I don't feel as shitty picking him here. I like Schultz. I feel he's a very reliable tight end. He's always there on your 3rd and shorts. He's always very crisp with his short route running, and he's just an amazing security blanket that you just don't tend to complain about. He's almost everything that you'd want in a tight end that's not, a spectacular playmaker Travis Kelce guy. My biggest knock with Dalton Schultz, though, is right now where he is, I believe he's peaked. I don't believe he gets much better than what we see out of him already. I don't think he continues to elevate his play. I think where his play is where his play stands. 650-yard receiver, couple touchdowns, bigger red zone threat, guy that you hit on the 3rd downs, but that's about it.
That's not bad though. I'll take 650 as a tight end. I mean, that's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. It's a good serviceable tight end. Coming
We have
number
a good
6.
serviceable tight end.
Oh, I thought you said I didn't even have a tight end.
No, not after tonight.
Yeah. Christian goes, we have the meats.
Christian's gonna go from tight end to wide receiver.
Number 7.
And he's gonna turn into running backs if you get that.
Jeez. Yo, can I go with my fucking picks?
Oh.
You can go.
Holy shit. Coming in at number 6, I have Evan Ingram. And before this year,
Ooh.
I'm not entirely sure I would have had him even on the top 10. He probably would have been the 10th or 11th guy. But
It's still really
a lot of
high.
that has changed in my sense. He had to change the scenery. Now he's down in. We all know how that's going down there with him and Trevor Lawrence. He really elevated his play last year. He was 4th amongst all tight ends in receiving yards with 766, and he had 4 touchdowns off of 76 receptions. He's starting to become a true reliable playmaker for Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars offense. He's not just a fast tight end anymore whose speed has just elevated him enough to become an arguable top 10 guy. He's starting to really be able to show, I guess, what the Giants wanted out of him mostly, but now he's doing it with a real quarterback.
I mean, honestly, when he was over there with the Giants, he was hurt. So he never
Yeah.
really got to show what he could do, which is great for us Philly fans. I'm glad, but yeah, I mean, I agree. Him down in
That was
I mean,
your
dude,
Jacksonville.
didn't he
that was
have
your
like
six.
he was my six.
Oh, so I think I know who you're leaving off this top 10 list. That's interesting. Keep going.
Coming in at number 5, we all know him. We all love him. Dallas Goddard. I have him sitting at the 5 spot. This one hits home, but for Goddard, he's just about everything that you would want from your tight end. He's got the size, the speed, the hands, the route running. He's a stud. However, in an offense like the Eagles that we have right now, he's not your first option. He's not your second option. And you could even argue that he isn't your third option if you want Jalen Hurts to run the ball. So, but when his number is called with Goddard, I mean, time in, time out, he's produced. He's that we need. I mean, as an Eagles team, we had Zach Ertz, and then we jumped right to Dallas Goddard. The play for that the tight end position has just been amazing still over there. He continues to always produce and put up big numbers in his own way. I want to say Dallas Goedert's going to have close to 1,000-yard season, man, but the offense is just too stacked for me to ever come out and say that. So I'm not going
Bro,
to come out and say that.
that's like saying 3 receivers there are gonna have 1,000 yards because you know AJ and
AJ and
Devontae are
Devontae,
gonna
I
be
know.
right there,
That's
and then
why
adding
I said that's
another
why I said
one.
I can't come out and do it.
Ooh,
I can't. I would love to. I would love to see him get 1,000-yard season, but it's not going to happen. Coming in at number 4, and I might get some hate for this one, but at 4, I have Mark Andrews. Now, this is a guy that I feel has been the number 1 since fucking Steve Smith last was there. I mean, the Ravens haven't had a target. I mean, it might not have been that long, but Ravens just haven't had a true one guy. Even when I was there, they have one guy. And so Mark Andrews has been the absolute definition of a safety blanket and just consistent play all around. I mean, he has great hands. He's got great size. His route running is not, incredible, but he's able to get his separation. And when he can't get his separation, he makes the play on the ball. I think now, though, with the additions of Zay Flowers and OBJ over there, his usage is going to be reduced, and he's not going to be as productive as much this year. Yeah. I like my takes, boys. I don't know about y'all.
they're very slow.
Coming in at number 3 is George Kittle. The only reason that for me he isn't in the 2 spot. Yes, the only reason that he isn't in the 2 spot is because the guy isn't always on the field. However, he's an absolute machine. One of the fastest tight ends in the league, but has the bigger build that you also want in your tight end. He's an amazing route runner who can find himself plenty of separation. I think he's the only player when at full health is the only person that is damn near close to where Travis Kelce is. Number 2. Y'all boys are going to love this one, baby. Give me TJ Hawkinson sitting at the 2 spot.
That's too high.
I'll take him right there at the 2 spot. The dude is an absolute wrecking ball with great hands and just an absolute. I mean, he's everything that I feel like that you would want from your tight end. I mean, it doesn't get much better. And when you go look at it this way, I feel like he doesn't get talked about as much as a guy like Mark Andrews and what he does for his offense. But at the same time, there's a lot of playmakers over there in Minnesota, and TJ Hawkinson is still able to go and get his. You're looking at me like that, but Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen last year?
Yeah,
Adam Thielen was barely.
Yeah, dude, no.
Hell no.
No.
I just don't. I think you have Hawkinson way too high, but just keep going. Just keep going.
Fair enough. And then number 1, I just feel as always unanimous. Travis Kelce. I mean, there's not really much of a debate on this. The guy's already on his way to a Hall of Fame year in, year out. He produces 4 1,000-yard seasons, is tied for the most amongst any tight ends ever. Guy's a stud. He's a game changer. He can do literally everything you want to do. Line up in the slot, line up out wide, line up, down as a tight end. He can block, route running, hands, everything. It's all there. I just feel like there's no debate at the 1 spot. It's got to be Kels.
There might be a debate. You don't know.
I feel like there's not. That's why I said I. It's
Yeah, I guess that comes to me. Also, you said he had 4 1,000-yard receiving seasons.
Yeah, he had 4 1,000-yard receiving seasons.
I'm pretty sure he's had 7 straight 1,000+ yard receiving seasons.
What? Then my fault. Then Google lied to me. I'm sorry.
He's going ham right now. He's been over 1,000 for a while. I don't know how many seasons. I don't want to get in this argument, but it's been a lot.
He's probably right.
But to start off, I'll go at number 10. I have Darren Waller. He at 30 years old now. He had two lackluster years with Vegas in the past 2 years. I have him sitting relatively low. He cannot stay healthy right now in the last couple years. He could still be a scary matchup in the pass game for any defense with just the size that he has and the speed he has. He is a great pass catcher. The last year was bad. If you look at 2019 2020, he averaged 99 receptions, 1,170 yards between the two seasons. Can he possibly turn around with Danny Jones is going to be the big thing. He's probably is going to be the number one target over there. But still, I mean, I think it's just going to see how much he can help that offense thrive with Danny Jones down there. At number 9, I'll have Evan Ingram. He finally stayed healthy throughout a whole year, and he put up numbers for the Jags. He was a dominant pass catcher in a revamped Jaguars offense. He had 88 catches with Rich Winkton third best. He had 905 yards, which was the fifth best among tight ends. He had his best season in his career as a pass blocker too, which is good to hear. He wasn't that big of a deep threat or an end zone threat, however. He only averaged 1.41 yards per route ran. He had a 33.3% contested catch rate, and 52.3 of his catches did not end in a touchdown or first down this year. These are kind of like lackluster stats for a pass catching tight end. Nonetheless, it was a good season seeing him healthy, and maybe we can see him do better this year. At number 8, I have Dalton Schultz. He had a pretty bad season in Dallas. He was the go-to for Dak for about 3 seasons in 2020 and 2021. He averaged 71 catches, 712 yards. He fell to 57 catches and 577 yards and 5 touchdowns this year. He missed some time this year. Dak missed some time this year, and Dak also had problems throwing the ball. He had a lot of picks this year, so it could have a lot to do with his bad season. But he moved the Texas teams to Houston. He has rookie CJ Stroud at QB this year, so it'll be interesting to see how he can do as CJ security blanket. He's all right at blocking, but could be better, especially with a great back they have in Dameon Pierce. I wonder how they're going to be able to use him there, the pass block. At number 7, I have Pat Freiermuth. I think he's one of the most underrated tight ends in the league. He gets overshadowed by the likes of Pickens and Deontay Johnson on that offense, but he's a great pass catcher and is still really young at only 24 years old. He had 63 catches, 732 yards last year, and I think the thing that he lacks is being a red zone target. I think I'm sorry, that's the wrong person. I think he can be a better factor in the red zone. He may slide up to maybe the top 5 if he's able to do that. However, he is a great blocking tight end, and when asked to do that a lot in a decent Steelers run game, he probably won't get a lot of touches that he should be getting. At number 6, somebody I did not see on Christian's top 10 list, which I was very surprised. I have Kyle Pitts. He has not lived up to the hype as a 4th overall pick, but he has had some good numbers. But
At
also
6?
At 6. Mm-hmm.
Wow, I feel like you're.
This is a guy who came into
so much namesake.
This is a guy that came into his rookie year and had 68 catches and 1,026 yards in his first season playing, and that's with quarterbacks like Desmond Ridder and Marcus Mariota thrown to you.
Who else was wide out over there?
They had Zacchaeus over there. I mean, I'm sure
stud.
But I mean, the last hit, he's only had 3 career touchdowns in the last 2 seasons, which is pretty abysmal. But so are the Falcons. I think if Ridder or whomever the quarterback,
he had Matt Ryan thrown to him the first year, and that's why he actually had a decent season his first year. His second year was awful.
Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with quarterback. Like again, when you're sitting there, he has the bad quarterback. I think also what he's lacking too is pass blocking. He's not that good of a pass blocker for a tight end.
No, he's just athletic.
He's just much more of just a wide receiver type. But Travis Kelce isn't that good of a pass blocker as a tight end either. However, he makes it work over there. At number 5, I have TJ Hawkinson. He had a pretty underwhelming debut in his first 3 years in Detroit. He got traded to Minnesota and halfway through last year, and he had a monster year last year. He had his actually best year as a player, splitting games between Detroit and Minnesota. He had 86 receptions, 914 yards, and 6 touchdowns, which is just insane. Yeah, he still is really young at 25. He isn't bad at pass blocking, but can make some improvements there, which could help a lot. He also will be relied on more this year, especially since Adam Thielen is now gone from that offense. You also have Dalvin Cook gone from that offense. So it'll be interesting to see how much usage they're going to get out of him. Number 4, I have Mark Andrews. He's been the top target for Lamar since 2018. Maybe the reason why they never have a good receiver is because they have a great tight end. He also is a valuable pass blocker, which is he needs to be. I mean, for that offense that is just Lamar go run that ball, he needs to be a somewhat good blocking tight end. Um, he only had Lamar for 12 games last year, but still had 73 yards receiving and 847 yards. Sorry, 73 receptions, 847 yards and 5 touchdowns to boast. He is a valuable portion to that team and could be put up giant numbers if Lamar could stay healthy or if just Lamar had a better arm. He is a giant mismatch around the red zone too. Lamar looks to him, I feel like, all the time. I feel like that's where most of Lamar's touchdown passes come from. It's
Yeah.
just those like 3-yard receptions.
DeMar
At number
Andrews.
3, I have Dallas Goedert. It's crazy to think that 2 years ago, the Eagles' best franchise tight end was gotten rid of. But because of that, they had faith in the next man up. He has not looked back since then.
3?
I have him at 3. I have him at 3. Look, so
Wow.
his first
Tie.
in 2021, he had 830 yards receiving. This past year, he had 55 receptions, 702 yards, and 3 touchdowns. But he
was
also
hurt.
missed a good amount of time.
Yeah.
And you're in an offense where you're having the split between AJ Brown, you're having the split
Yeah.
between Devontae Smith, you're in the split between if they're going to run the ball. Now you have 2 pretty good backs sitting back there. You also have Gainwell who's still there. I mean, this offense is just well
Hurts can
balanced.
run.
Yeah, this is a really well balanced offense. You look at the stats; he can run deep, he can run short, he can do a lot of screenplay as well. I mean, they use him a lot in those quick tight end screens. He's also a
Yeah.
great blocking tight end. If you look down at the analytics of it, he ranked second to Kelsey in DYAR, which analyzes total value, and then second in DVOA, which analyzes value per play. With that well-balanced offense, it just seems to be on pace, and maybe he could do better than his predecessor Ertz. When it's all said and done, we're going to have to see that, though, because Ertz was a pretty good tight end. At number 2, I have George Kittle. I think he's arguably the greatest all-around tight end that we've seen. He's good at blocking. He's one of the reasons that the ground game is so dangerous in San Francisco. He isn't one-dimensional, though. He had 60 receptions, 765 yards, and 11 touchdowns. And keep in mind, he missed some time with injury last year. And also, he was in the quarterback carousel last year. He didn't know who was going to start.
Yeah.
Lance started, and then and then the Garoppolo started, and then Purdy came in. So it's pretty amazing.
And then who Johnson
San Fran doesn't
came in the game.
for what, a play or two before he got injured as well.
Dude, Johnson was in the whole freaking game.
No, he wasn't. He got hurt.
He got hurt.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was only in for a play or two, and then he did get hurt.
He got hurt again. Like the first play he got from, I think one of the first plays he got from scrimmage,
So
he got sacked.
Who finished that game at quarterback?
Purdy.
Who?
Purdy finished the game.
Yeah.
Oh, he had to come back in.
He came back in, but all he did was hand the ball off.
Oh.
But San Fran doesn't exactly pass the ball as much as other teams too. So these stats are pretty good for a team that really relies on that run game a lot. And then at number 1, it's the obvious choice. We have Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is arguably the best pass catching.
Is it the obvious choice?
I think it's the obvious choice. He's probably one of the best pass catching tight ends of all time. He's had 7 years straight of 1,000 yards receiving. Granted, he's had some pretty good quarterbacks in those 7 years. He had Alex Smith and then Mahomes.
Yeah.
But still, he is a great security blanket. Last year, he had 110 catches, 1,338 yards, and 12 touchdowns. 90 of those catches resulted in either a touchdown or a first down last year, which is crazy.
It's unreal.
The only reason I would consider having him at 2 is because Kittle is just a better overall tight end. But Kelce changes the game with what he does. He is targeted on 20% of passing plays for the Chiefs, and he had 120 passer rating while being thrown to last year, which are just insane numbers for any player. And it's crazy to think that the best tight ends to play football probably both play for the Chiefs with Tony Gonzalez and Travis Kelce.
Yep.
I had some honorable mentions too, though. I really wanted to put Cole Kmet on this list in here. I think he's just outside the top 10 there. I also had David Njoku, Gerald Everett, and then Dawson Knox were just outside the top 10.
I feel like Njoku never lived up to his hype.
He was hurt, man.
I also just feel like it's more of the team he's on too. He wasn't really for the team that has a really good ground game. They don't use him as much as they should.
Listen, man, don't forget about Ngakoue over in Tennessee too, dude. That guy was a difference maker. You know where he came from?
If it's
Maryland.
Maryland, then I don't care.
Maryland, baby. So great. I love your guys' picks. I went a different route on this one,
Oh
right?
boy.
At number 10, I have Gerald Everett. He had a great season. He's a quick tight end. He really, really helped the Chargers this past year, yet he was still hurt for some of the time. But he can be a difference maker. If he stays healthy, I think he has a chance to go higher on this list. But I don't know. I don't know. As of right now, I gotta keep him there. Number
Okay.
9, Kyle Pitts. He has the talent. We've seen the talent. He has it. The reason I can't get him any higher than this is because no one can throw him the ball, and that's not on him. He's an athlete, but I just can't get him any higher because he just didn't perform last year. Number 8, I got Pat Fryermuth. Looks
Okay.
great. I think he's going to be a great option over there. For Kenny Pickett, I look for him to be the third down guy coming out, but they have a lot of talent over there as well. I look for them. The Steelers are going to be a tough team this year.
That whole division is going to be tough.
It really is, yeah. Number 7, this is my favorite pick, and I love it. It's number 7 himself, the most dynamic player in football, Taysom Hill.
No way.
See, you know what's crazy is I was gonna
no.
debate that. Honestly,
No,
I
no,
was
no,
gonna
no, no,
debate
no.
that.
He's the most versatile player in the league. He can play any position that you put him in. The dude is an absolute beast. I mean, he's the
is he
most
not-
electrifying player in the league.
I feel like depth chart wise, he's a quarterback though, but also like if we're
But
looking
he's
at
not depth chart wise. He's a tight
tight
end.
end. Yes. So
What do you-
tell me, he's a top 10 tight end. 100% top 10 tight end. He is the most athletic player in the game. He plays literally every type of position. I mean, it's unreal. I had to keep him on this list. And look for him to possibly get traded over to Denver because Sean Payton loves this guy. Look for him to possibly be the quarterback over there too. I don't know.
the guy got paid. The guy got paid way too much money to be what he's being. To be some random utility guy.
Way too much. The guy's
way
a difference
too
maker.
much. We got paid
I mean-
way too much.
Yeah, I mean, dude, let's be honest, right? Like Taysom Hill, you're never gonna see 1,000-yard season out of him unless you combine his rushing, receiving, and passing stats as well.
Versatile.
I
baby.
feel like though,
Most
at the
athletic
same
player.
time, look, I'm not gonna lie to you, Nick. This was a guy I was about to put on my list because I was thinking the same wavelength you were thinking. I like the way you're thinking on it, but at the end of the day, I mean, dude, he's not. I mean, if you go and look at play for a tight end, he is bottom level. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Oh, he can still do it. They just throw to other.
Oh, right, but he can still do it. He just doesn't do it. You're
Travis
right.
Kelsey can't
last
throw
year-
the football.
Last year,
Hey,
let's
Andy
blame it
Reid
on
said
this.
Travis Kelce can throw the football. He says he's got a cannon.
Let's blame it on this. Andy Dalton was being outperformed by him at quarterback. He's not going to throw.
That's not even true. He was not outperforming Andy Dalton last year.
Oh, come on now.
Andy Dalton was never elite, so it's not that hard.
That's what I'm saying. So Andy Dalton was butthurt, so he didn't want to give him the ball. That's all I'm saying. Taysom Hill is a
You think
stud.
so? You think that's the reason behind it?
Dude, you can give Taysom Hill every position on that field, and he's still gonna go out there and ball out. I'm sorry, most athletic player on the field. That's why he's on my list. Number 6, Mark Andrews.
Wow.
Wow.
He doesn't break the top 5 based on. I mean, they have a lot of weapons over there now, and I don't think you're gonna see as much playing time out of him, especially because they have that other tight end. Likely looks really good over there too. So
Yeah, but that's not
another
likely to
option.
happen.
Oh, I'm just saying that's the reason why I'm leaving him out of the top 5, and he can certainly get there. Absolutely, he can absolutely be that guy, your third down option. Number 5, Dallas Goedert. He's always a difference maker, man. I mean, he can. He's one of my favorite tight ends to watch because he loves to do it all, man. He's a great blocker. I mean, he goes out for passes. He's your third down guy. If you need him, you got 5 yards and the chip and go all day long. It's a first down. He's great. He knows how to find the open spot. Number 4, you guys are gonna hate this. I have Evan Ingram.
I don't hate that.
I feel you both have him way, way too high, though.
I disagree because you got
Yeah,
to
I
think
don't.
about this. He got himself to get a franchise tag this year. I mean, I look at him. You have Calvin Ridley over there now. You know, people are going to be eyeing him more than Evan Ingram. And Trevor Lawrence likes slinging the ball down the middle. So I think Evan Ingram might have a breakout year. Not to mention, he did pretty good. Yes, he only had 4 touchdowns last year, which is tough, but he also had a lot of yards, man. Um, he finally showed what he can do. Thank goodness he waited until he got into a different division. I just like him at the top 5. He's a difference maker. Number 3, I got TJ Hawkinson.
Huh.
He's the number 2 guy. He's the number 2 guy there now. They don't have anything else. I'm sorry, Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson is all he has over there. Kirk is going to throw to TJ a lot because Justin Jefferson's going to be double covered the entire year. And it's gonna be tough on him. Not to mention he had a great season for being traded midway through the season. I mean, that's tough to do. He learns a new offense. He goes out there and he still has, what was it, 914 yards and 6 touchdowns. That's pretty good. I mean, by any means being traded. And did he play? I think he played the first game, right? After he got traded, but he didn't do much. He was more of just like a watch out for him kind of guy.
Yeah, I mean he played a total of 17 games, played 7 with the Lions and then 10 with the Vikings.
Yeah, so he actually played in that first game. I think I remember that. He just didn't do a whole lot. He was still
He
learning.
played in every game this season.
That's crazy, man.
Every week he played.
Number 2, obvious, George Kittle. I mean, he's a competitor, man. He's so good. When he's on that field, he's a difference maker. It's really tough, especially with the talent that they have over there, to still grab 765 yards. And not to mention, he didn't play the entire year with 11 touchdowns. That's unreal. And the dude doesn't even like to go out for routes. He likes to block. And you don't see that much anymore. And he's one of my favorite. He's one of my favorite players to watch based off of him being a competitor.
Yeah.
Number 1, you can't argue it. It's Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
The dude is always a beast. He's always like, you can guard him and it's still not going to matter. Patrick Mahomes is going to find him no matter who it is. He's just always open no matter what. He's a great pass blocker. He goes out. He finds holes. It doesn't matter. I mean, the dude had
Shia LaBeouf movie.
Dude had over 1,300 yards receiving with 12 TDs. And I think he had a couple games where he had 3 TDs in that game, which is crazy. I mean, always a great red zone threat. Super athletic. But honestly, I think Jason Kelce is more athletic than him. He's just a bigger body. I feel like you can't argue Jason Kelce is Travis Kelce wouldn't be where he was at without Jason Kelce. I mean, it's obvious, man. And Jason Kelce
without me.
I feel like anybody would be where they're at without you.
That's fucked up.
It's more interesting to me to think that arguably, when you look back at it, they could be 2 of the best to ever play their positions, but also be, brothers. Didn't Kelce come in for a quarterback when he went to Travis? When he went to since he was a quarterback.
As a quarterback.
You know how he got to Cincy though?
Probably because his brother.
Yeah, so he was actually having a tough year in high school, man. And Jason went up to him and said, "Hey, you got to bring my brother in here. He's got talent." And you're right, it was quarterback, but he got moved to tight end, and he was like, "I'll take any position." Got a scholarship, and look where he's at now.
And it's crazy to think that though. Like, I mean,
He got moved to tight end after being kicked off the team.
That's true. That's true. Yes, they were going to kick him off the team if he didn't move. You're right.
No, they were going to kick him off the team because he got caught partying, dude. What are you talking about? That's why, dude, he was removed for the team from a year. And then when he came back, they were like, "We want you to play for us, but like, you're not a quarterback. You can't play quarterback." So he became a tight end.
Yes. I think we all know the story. So that's going to get us into our
Coming from the guy who wasn't saying it right.
AL All-Star starters, since we have the All-Star game coming up here soon. Christian, what you got over there?
Yeah. Starting here at catcher. I almost wanted to roll with Jonah Heim from the Rangers. I think he's playing very well this year, but I'm going to go with a guy that I feel as though we all know and love. Salvador Perez from the Kansas City Royals. The guy, in my opinion, just continues to be. I mean, dude, he's always playing at a consistent level at the catcher position. He's got 37 RBIs and 14 home runs so far, which also leads all catchers in the AL. He's continued to play, like I said, what we know him to be. I feel like Salvador Perez has always been a very good catcher. And I think he deserves the bid for the All-Star spot here. Again, though, shout out to Jonah Heim. He's the only guy with better batting average at the catcher position in the AL.
I guarantee you, me and David have the same catcher going into the All-Star game.
I
I'm
guarantee.
willing to put money on
I
it.
guarantee.
I mean, dude, I
it
would have
too.
loved to have said Adley Rutschman too, but I didn't say him. First base, I have Yandy Diaz from the Rays. This guy is a huge part of the success that's going on over there in Tampa. He's batting over 300 currently with a 311 batting average, 14 home runs, and 36 RBIs. He's one of the best players on one of the best teams in baseball, if not the best team in baseball. And he plays a very big role in that. And I think with those stats alone, he should at least get the bid for the ASG, but we all know it's fan base. So yeah.
I thought I had him at 320. Did that change?
This morning, I had him at a 311. You have him at 320?
Mm-hmm.
I have him at 311 too.
I have him at 311 off of MLB.com. So
Shout out to where I get my stats.
Let's go to ESPN.
It was ESPN that I got this.
I mean, dude, shout out to the stat that told me Kelsey only had 4,000 yard seasons.
It's true.
Second base, I have Marcus Semien from the Rangers. I think the guy's playing out of his mind right now. He's batting a 286, 53 RBIs, and 10 home runs to go with it. He's a huge part of the shocking success that we're seeing out of the Rangers. I think he earned this spot, and he's actually currently already leading the voting for second base in the AL. And as like I said here, I believe rightfully so. Shortstop, I almost feel like this one was one of the easier ones as well. I'm going with Bo Bichette from the Blue Jays. This is a very big name player playing at a very big time level right now. He's doing exactly as I think you would expect a big name player to be. He's batting a 319 on the season with 14 home runs and 44 RBIs. I mean, I think this dude he's already for the namesake alone, a lock for the All-Star game. But when you just go off with the stats as well and everything he's doing, he should be a lock for the All-Star game.
Shout out Star Wars fans.
Coming in for third base, I couldn't decide who I really wanted to go with here.
I've seen All-Star Smash Mouth.
I went Josh June from the Rangers. Another big piece of the Rangers is going to be thanks to the third base play, both in the field and at the dish. He's tied for the second highest batting average amongst third basemen in the league. He has 13 home runs and 40 RBIs as well. He's continuing to play very well right now. And I mean, the Rangers are a very surprising team for us, for everybody in MLB, and he's another one of the key factors for that. Left field, I have Randy. I don't know how to say this last name. Sorry about it.
Arozarena.
Arozarena, yes. Though Yashida from Boston Red Sox host a higher batting average amongst qualified left fielders in the AL. One more time, David.
Arozarena.
Arozarena has 12 home runs and 44 RBIs to lead all the left fielders in the AL, along with a 268 batting average. That's very good. He's hitting the ball, and more importantly, he's hitting the ball when there's runners in scoring position, which is, in my opinion, one of the most important stats in baseball. Center field, this one was hard for me because when I was going and looking at all the play in center field, I didn't see a lot of guys that stood out on the page. Nobody in the AL is batting above a 270 playing center field. The highest batting average I had amongst qualified hitters, that's what I saw this morning on MLB.com. Amongst qualified hitters, the only player batting above a 280 is Brandon Nimmo, and he's in the AL. So for me here, I'm sorry, he's in the NL. Sorry, he's in the NL. My fault.
Thrown off.
So for me here, I'm just gonna roll with it. I'm gonna go Mike Trout. I mean, dude, he might not look. I get it. He's not having a year, man. But at the end of the day, I don't know another guy out here in the AL who I can look at and go, that's their spot. They need to be in the All-Star game. Namesake, I'm gonna go roll back and run it to Trout.
Oh, what is this popularity contest now?
Dude, sure. You know what, dude? Give me. Well, I'll hear from y'all. But right field. Another Texas Ranger makes the bid for Lourdes Garcia. He may not have the batting average that you want with 255 batting average so far, but he leads all right fielders in sluggings and home runs. and he leads all right fielders in the MLB in RBIs this season. He's producing runs, and again, like I said, I believe that's exactly what you want, and that's really a humongous stat. And to me, that's enough to give him the bid. I think he's just out there. He's hitting when he sees the ball, I should say, but when he sees the ball, I mean, he's hitting it better than anyone, or I should say, as good as anybody else. And then for DH, I feel as though for me personally, there's no question about it. It's Shohei Ohtani batting just under a 300 right now with a 299 average. He has been crushing the ball. He has 21 home runs, 52 RBIs, and 79 hits so far throughout this season. I don't feel as though there should be much of an argument. The guy's been crazy since he came into the MLB, and he's still playing crazy.
Did you not go ahead and do pitcher or closer at all?
I thought we weren't supposed to do those.
I didn't do closer, but I definitely did starting pitcher.
Yeah, it's fine. I do because yeah. All right. So I'll go next. Yeah. So first I'll go for catcher. So catcher, I have, and let me preface this. I told Nick before this year, and I said we need to watch out for this guy. And I have Adley Rushman from the Baltimore Orioles. So yes, he's only batting 276 with 28 RBIs and 8 home runs, but he is a defensive force this year. The dude has one of the best arms in all of baseball as a catcher. He currently leads the AL votes as well, which is crazy to think. Now, batting stats wise, he isn't, a top, isn't the best one, but I think what he adds on defense could put him over the top there, and that's why he has my vote. And also, I just like the Orioles. I'll go for the popularity vote there. At first base, I also have Yandy Diaz, a great bat for MLB's best team in the Tampa Bay Rays. Like you said, batting 311, 12 home runs, 36 RBIs. He's on a tear this year. However, he trails right now to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Again, it's a popularity contest. Guerrero Jr. does not deserve to be in first place over there, but he probably will end up making it just because, again, it is a name. At second base, I think it's the obvious choice here, Marcus Semien. He's been on a tear at the Rangers and one of the best offensive teams in the league this year. Again, 286, 7 stolen bases, 10 home runs, 53 RBIs. This guy's really doing it all. And he currently leads for second baseman, so that's good too. At third base, I have Marcus Semien's teammate Josh Jung for the Texas Rangers, batting 283, like you said, 13 home runs, 40 RBIs. He's been great at the hot corner. Right now, he's second to Matt Chapman from Toronto, even though Jung leads him in all those stats right now. Again, I think it's more because those Blue Jays fans are probably voting them in. I know they do pretty well when it comes to voting. It's kind of like those Royals teams in the mid 2000s when they kept voting a bunch of Royals players to be the starters. Shortstop for me, this is a no-brainer. Bo Bichette as my pick for starting shortstop. Now I did like Wander Franco. Wander Franco for the Rays has had 22 stolen bases and is batting 295 this year. He has 8 home runs and 32 RBIs, but with Bo Bichette batting 319, 14 home runs, 44 RBIs, even with those stolen bases, I do have Bo Bichette over him. Now, I'm pretty sure when it goes to outfielders, I don't think they go by center field, left field, right field. I think it's just outfielders, if I do recall. So at the one, I'll have Aaron Judge. He's had an absolute monster year this year. He's batting 291 with 19 homers and 40 RBIs. However, the only thing here is I think he may or may not be injured, so it'll be interesting to see where he is by the time the All-Star game starts. After that, I have Randy Arozarena. He has been a lightning bolt for the best team in MLB this year, batting 286, 12 home runs, 9 stolen bases, and 44 RBIs. And then I have Yordan Alvarez. He's a World Series champ. He's batting 277 with 17 homers and 5 RBIs this year, which is a really good year for the reigning champs. Now, right now, Aaron Judge is leading the outfield in votes, but Trout is in second. And I just don't think Trout has had a good year this year. He has 14 home runs and 37 RBIs, which is pretty good, but he's batting a 252. I just think it'd be more of a travesty if people vote on him for his name alone and not for the other people who've had a better year than him. At DH, like Christian said, I think it's obvious. It's Shohei Ohtani. I don't think it's a question here. He leads the AL in home runs. He's only 1 away from the MLB lead. Pete Alonso has 22 this year. Ohtani has 52 RBIs and is batting 299. Absolutely disgusting. He's right now probably the AL MVP and the best two-way player in baseball. Now, I did add starting pitcher and closer. At starting pitcher, I have Shane McClanahan for the Rays. He's had an amazing year this year. He's a dominating lefty. He's 10-1 this year and it has a 2.18 ERA. He also adds 92 strikeouts to boast. And at closer, I have Carlos Estevez from the LA Angels. He's had an amazing season. He has a 1.50 ERA through 30 innings pitched and has not blown a save all year. That's the big thing. He has the third most saves with 18 and again, 0 blown. So that's why I think he should get the catcher's vote. Not catchers, closers.
Nice.
I like it. I wish I would have done a closer, but I didn't. Um, Catcher, like David said, we talked about it a lot. I just like Adley there, man. I mean, he's a baller. I like his personality. Dude is an athlete. I like him over there. At first place, I got Yandy Diaz. I think he's an absolute stud over there. I mean, he's still going off, top performer in 2023. He had a hot streak, and I mean, you just can't argue. He's 31 and still going at it, batting over 300. Um, Second base, we're pretty much in agreement there. I got Marcus Simeon. Uh, Arguably one of the hottest and surprising teams in baseball with the Rangers. I mean, the guy, hopefully these stats are still right, but I have him at 53 RBIs. He's got fourth most in baseball right now. That's probably wrong. I mean, is it wrong? You get the wrong stat there?
Which one?
53 RBIs? Or is that correct? I want to make sure. For Marcus Simeon.
Yes. 53
Yeah,
RBIs
53.
is correct.
Okay, I wanted to make sure. And I wanted to go with your guys' pick at shortstop, but I like Wander Franco. If you guys looked, he's now batting 301. I just checked it.
Still higher.
But I like it. But he go along with the 22 stolen bases, man. I mean, you just can't. Plus, he leads the shortstops. If you go by defensive, it's not all about offense. With the most defensive runs
75% of
saved. I understand, but you still have to play defense. He could be a Gold Glove candidate. I think he might be one of the best all-around shortstops in the league right now. I can't argue it. This one was hard for me. I chose Matt Chapman.
I don't hate the pick.
I don't hate Matt
Don't hate
Chapman. It's just Jung is leading him in every single offensive category right now.
Yeah, and I know, but at the same time, the dude's playing for a contract, and I think that's why he's starting to step up his game this year. But I just like him over there at third. I mean, it's
Whatever
tough.
helps you sleep at night, right?
That's right, exactly.
I think it's funny. I think Yankees have like a bunch of players they pushed away that were playing bad who now are playing well at other teams.
Right.
Yeah.
Left field. Help me out with this, David. Randy
Rosarena.
Rosarena. No surprise. 2021 rookie of the year. The dude is an absolute stud. I'm not taking anybody else in left field. He's a great defensive player. He's a great offensive player. Love him all around. Great player. Center field. Christian, I wanted to take Mike Trout. I mean, if it's a popularity contest, I'm taking Mike Trout. But based off of performance, give me Luis Robert Jr.
From the White Sox.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He's not batting over 275, but he's batting 265, and he's got 16 homers. That's tied for 11th. But in the last 8 games, he's batting 471. Dude's getting hot at the right time.
Yeah.
I think he's a good ball player. I can't wait to see more out of him. Right fielder, Aaron Judge. I mean, it's hard for me to go against Aaron Judge. The dude is an absolute beast. He's batting at 291 right now with 19 homers. I mean, I don't need to say much more. I mean, obviously, he's going to get the bid no matter what, even though, there might be some people that are going to get that. But, I mean, popularity in itself is going to get him the vote. And he's always great. DH, I wanted to go Jordan Alvarez, but you cannot argue with Shohei Ohtani. I would love to see Shohei Ohtani go on the mound for an inning or two, just because he's still a beast at pitching too. I mean, he's like a top 10 pitcher in
I
the
think they did
league.
that. I think they did that last year. I think they started him at pitcher last year and also had him hitting.
Yeah. So I mean, but I think at this point he's not going to be your starting pitcher, but I do like him in that DH role. I mean, the dude is an absolute beast. But I will put in my honorable mention is Alvarez as DH, just because dude is powerful, man. He kind of reminds me of David Ortiz. I mean, he's a beast. But starting pitcher, I got Shane McClanahan. Dude's 10-1. He's literally lost one game all season. Yes, he's on arguably one of the best teams in the league right now. But a 2.18 ERA and a 1.1 WHIP. I mean, dude, you can't argue it. But that's pretty much gonna have you like looking. This is why the Rays are the best team in baseball right now. I mean,
Very, very well rounded.
yeah. I mean, they're gonna get a lot of bids on here. I think you're gonna have a couple people that are gonna get put on this team. But I mean, yeah, it's hard to argue with this team right now, which is crazy. You don't think of the Rays being one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah, I also want to put a little bit of an honorable mention to Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray has had a pretty good turnaround this year as well.
I wanted to put him in there, but looking at the
Yeah.
ERA, he's just a little better, man.
The Yankees, I don't know what the Yankees did to Sonny Gray. Again, another mention where I said the Yankees had a guy who was terrible for them for some reason, but was good somewhere else. He went to the Reds and had some good seasons. He's had a really good last 2 seasons with the with the Twins. Is he with the Twins right now?
Twins,
So
yeah.
he's had a really good year. I think he's under 2.5. He's like 2.3 on the ERA, I want to say. It's like something around there.
He's right behind him. He'll probably pitch like the second or third inning.
Because who wants to play for the fucking Spankies?
Yeah. He did. Was he with the Athletics? Is that who he started with?
Do you want money?
You like
That's
a
true.
mustache?
If you like money, do you like a mustache? No, they can have a mustache. They just can't have a beard.
Oh, is that what it was?
No
You
beard.
can't-
Sorry,
no
guys.
beard.
And Christian, all your hair would be gone. You can't have long hair.
I know that's bullshit.
I don't know, man. I kind of like that, dude. I kind of like that.
I'm willing to bet you if Aaron Judge decided he wanted to grow his hair out, they'd let him.
No, it's literally in every contract.
Oh, then I'm not signing there. Thanks.
Yeah, you could not be a New York Yankee. I apologize. I don't know if you're missing much, but there's a short porch out there and right.
Please
So-
don't apologize.
I think it's going to lead us into. We're just going to do a little recap here of the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. Not really a 3-minute minor here. This is probably the last year here of hockey talk for a while. So what can I say? They did it. The Vegas Knights are your 2023 Stanley Cup champs. They did it in dominant fashion. They won Game 5 9-3 in Vegas. It wasn't even close. They were just the better team all finals long. They never allowed more than 3 goals in a single game. They scored 26 goals in 5 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. That's absolutely insane. I'm interested to see if they can return next year. I mean, with hockey, I feel like it's a little bit harder to make those repeat teams. And they won it in their 6th season as an expansion team, which brings us to trivia time with David here. Got you to your trivia question. There have been 3 true expansion teams in the 4 major sports that have won a title other than the Vegas Knights. Who are those 3 teams?
Avalanche.
Oh. Yeah, there's 3 of them. It's just you just give him one answer, Nick.
No, I'm thinking, but I'm going Avalanche.
Sorry, I should preface this. There's 3 true expansion teams who have won in less years than the Knights did. Because the Knights won in 6 seasons as an expansion team.
There's a lot of expansion teams. Are we talking about from the beginning? Because we're talking about from the beginning. There's a lot of expansion teams.
Right, but who have won that in their first in less than their first 6 seasons as a team.
All right. Sticking with it, Avalanche. Let's go Oilers.
Like which Oilers?
What do you mean?
Hockey or football?
Hockey or football?
Hockey. Oh, we're talking about all sports.
It's all the major 4
Dude,
sports.
You're in, bro.
Oh, this is completely different. Okay. I'm at a loss. I'm at a
Ravens
loss.
don't count as a.
Ravens aren't a true expansion team. They
Okay.
technically are the Browns. It's very confusing.
Yeah, I got
But
you.
they
I
should be. That's the issue.
They're not though, because the Browns moved to Baltimore. They're not an expansion team. The real Cleveland Browns now are an expansion team.
What about Indianapolis Colts?
The Colts were not an expansion team
They were the
Because they
Oilers.
moved from Baltimore.
because
Oh,
they
no,
moved
weren't.
from
They were-
Baltimore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
That's
You're
so
right.
confusing. Baltimore should have been. That's so dumb.
This is a hard freaking question,
It
man.
really is. It really is. But I'm still sticking with Avalanche as one of them. Let's go Rangers.
The Rangers won a World Series.
No.
Which also which
no,
ones?
give me the Marlins. No, the Rangers were part of the NHL hockey like first team. So, give me the Marlins, man. Yeah, I think I like that one.
Marlins is at number 3. Florida Marlins won in 1997 in their 5th
Mhm.
season.
Okay.
So you're telling me the ones that we're actually getting right. So Colorado wasn't right.
Colorado's not right.
Okay.
Jesus.
I need at least one more to feel
Give
a little
me,
better
bro.
about
At
myself.
least give us the sport for one of the other ones.
So one is basketball and the other one is baseball. So there's 2 baseball, 1 basketball.
Basketball, one's baseball.
I'll give you the starting center for the basketball team.
Do it.
Okay.
Lou Alcindor.
What the fuck?
That didn't help.
Not at all. The Sonics.
Give me Houston.
Sorry, I probably shouldn't tell
The
you
Kings.
I probably shouldn't tell you Lou Alcindor. I should probably say the name he changed when he changed the Muslim faith. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. My apologies.
Wait, what? No
You didn't know
way.
Lou Alcindor is the legal birth name of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
I didn't know that.
and he played for another team other than the Lakers.
I can't remember that team, dude. You only think of the Lakers when you think of Kareem.
So he was a tandem with Oscar Robinson and the 1971 Milwaukee Bucks. They won in their 3rd season. And then in 2001, in their 4th season, the Arizona Diamondbacks won the World Series.
Nice.
Dang. So I got one of them right.
Yeah, you had the Marlins right.
Let's
Marlins,
go.
Marlins actually won like 2 within their
What
first
they would-
7
what-
seasons.
Yeah, because what they would do, they would buy all these players, and then when their contract would be up, they'd get rid of them, come back, buy them all like 2 years later, win, get rid of them. Dude, they were going crazy over there in Florida.
It's crazy to think that young Cabrera was on one of those teams too.
That's so true, dude.
Yeah.
That's so true. I love it, man. I will say, with the finals, man, losing the last game 9-3 is
That's
absurd.
bad.
Not good.
They were outmatched. They were outcoached. And what I didn't like with the Panthers is, yeah, you lost, but you blamed it on injuries, man. Like you're saying
Yeah,
here,
one guy is not going to make you lose by 6 goals.
that's what I'm saying. Like they're sitting there like, well, you know what? We had injuries going in, and that's the reason why it wasn't close. No. Like, okay, yes, that would have helped, but I still think you're going to lose to the best offense in the league right now.
Yeah.
And like I said, Salt obviously wins the MVP. Not even close.
I think it's funny that Salt is a victim of the expansion draft, and he played for the Panthers beforehand.
Yeah, and that dude, oh, it came back to bite him in the ass. They should have kept him. They might be looking at something. He led all of the playoffs in goals, right?
Mhm.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
He had a hat trick.
I'm going to throw
final game.
I'm going to throw another random trivia fact in there for NHL. The most points ever scored by a person in their history is obviously the great one, Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky, yes.
If you were to take away all of his goals, who would be in first place? For points.
It would still be Wayne Gretzky because he had a ton of assists, dude.
That is correct. It would still be Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, dude was an absolute
beast.
beast. Absolute beast. It wouldn't even be close. The guy was, I mean, there'll never be a Wayne Gretzky again. I mean, he just took over. Back when hockey was actually like, even, I mean, it's not babyfied by any means. Don't take anything the wrong way on this. But back then, they didn't even wear helmets.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
that's crazy.
But I'll put this into the NBA Finals. Just do a little recap of that. The Nuggets ended up winning it all 4-1. Again, it wasn't close. Another instance where they were just outmatched. We knew that the Nuggets were outmatched. Nuggets outmatched the Heat. Jokic won MVP, which was deserving. Didn't seem to care that he won MVP. Didn't seem to care that he won the finals. He just kind of
wants to go to his horses.
He just wants to go home, man. He's got a huge race coming up on Sunday. He literally asked the owner.
They asked him.
Jet.
And so the big question here is, do the Nuggets have a chance to repeat next year?
No.
Here's my biggest
They
thing
won't.
is, I mean, look, we saw. I mean, what Nick says, David says. I mean, I guess at this point, after seeing everything, what I say should have been the MVP, just win the finals, and he basically came out and said he didn't really like. He didn't try. He didn't give a fuck. Like he was just like he walked through it, bro. Like I
Dude,
don't know. It's mind blowing to me. If he comes back with like 10% effort, how are they not gonna repeat? Like,
see the way I mean, I like Jokic, man. He came out and had that 23-point game, which was his lowest scoring game, right?
yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, he had a great game." He goes, 23? That's what you think is a great game? Like, no. Like, no, I don't think that's great at all. Like, that's average. And you want to put me up there with the other guys based off 23? No. He's a gamer, dude. But the thing is he doesn't even like playing basketball at this point. He just wants to get home.
Here's my thing. I think this has probably been the easiest road to a NBA Finals in NBA history. If you go back and look at their opponents, they played a play-in team in the Timberwolves, they played a 6th seed in the Warriors, they played a play-in team in the Lakers, and they played a play-in team in the Heat in the finals. They played an 8 seed, they played like multiple 8 seeds and a 6 seed. Like I just think this had to be one of the easiest roads to ever have reached the NBA Finals.
I mean, at the end
Um,
of the day, though, he still did have to go against the Steph Curry Golden State Warriors and the LeBron James and AD Lakers.
yeah, but the Steph Curry,
Yeah.
like they didn't have a big man.
They didn't have an answer, man. They didn't have an
They didn't
answer
have a
for
big man, and then the Lakers,
Jokic.
like again, you have AD, who yes is a big man, but then outside of that, you had aging LeBron James, and then a bunch of role players other
I
than
mean, not to
Austin Reeves.
mention Jamal Murray carried them that series. I mean, we can all agree that granted, Jokic still averaged a triple double, but Jamal Murray, I think, had almost 30 points in every single game in that series.
So then let me bring it to you this much then. I mean, if it was such a cakewalk, right? I mean, how come all these 8 seeds beat everybody else?
Hot at the right time, man.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't mean they outmatched everybody that they played the entirety of it. Which I mean, yes, you can say they were the 1 seed, right? But also, when you get to the finals, you're not expecting to have to play an 8 seed, and like,
Yeah, the Miami just looked like they were tuckered out. Honestly, they look like they went through hell to get where they're at. And I just want to throw this out here: any fan of Miami, we're here for you. As
we
Philly
feel you.
fans, we know how
Yeah, for
we
real.
know how it is. If you need someone to talk to, we got you. No problem.
It's
I mean,
it's
it's
rough.
It's rough.
demoralized.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
rough
it's
out here,
rough.
man.
We
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 know.
I can like again, at least with the MLS, that's not like a major sport, but still, like the Philadelphia Union lost the same day that the Phillies lost the World Series.
Tragic.
Obviously, we have the Super Bowl that they lost. But yeah, Miami fans have to be feeling it right now. They lost the Stanley Cup, and then sorry, they lost the finals, and then like the next day they lose the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
So
And it wasn't even close. That's the issue on all of these. Like
right,
they weren't even close. It was 4-1 blowouts. I mean, it sucks. And we feel for you. But I'm telling you, watch out for NFL. Watch out for Philly this year. They're gonna make sure they're like Patrick Mahomes. They're coming in with PEDs.
I think with a fun fact here, this is gonna be the first time that the same team hasn't won in a 5-year span since 1977 to 1981. There's been a different champion each of the 5 years.
Really?
Yes, because you have I'm trying to think. You have the Raptors, you have the Bucks, you have the
Lakers,
Lakers, the Warriors, and then now you have the Nuggets.
Well, it's
Nuggets.
about
And
time because you remember all the times we were looking at it. I mean, LeBron would always go. Warriors won
Curry
it
will
all
always
the
go.
time.
I still think it's crazy the stat I told Christian that the Nuggets are the first Western team since like the 70s that weren't from Texas or California to win the finals.
No way.
Well, because you
There's
had
no
you had
way.
the Lakers dynasty, and then obviously you had the Jordan years, but in the middle of the Jordan years, you had the Houston Rockets who won. But then you had the San Antonio Spurs who were good in the 90s, 2000s, the Lakers who were good in the 2000s and 90s. Then you get the 2010s, the Mavericks won one, but then you have LeBron in the East who wins, but then the Warriors who are from California was winning them. And so like it's just
That's
crazy to think
tragic,
yeah,
dude.
those two states were the ones that were doing everything.
Tragic. Hey, shout out to Denver, man. They played their ass off. the playoffs, and they showed who the better team was.
Do you see the owner for the owner for the Nuggets also owned the Avalanche and the Los Angeles
Yeah.
Rams?
Yeah.
No way, does he
So
really?
he's won 3 championships in the past like 2 years.
And there's
I take
another.
it back. I
I'm
take
pretty
it
sure
back.
there's
Shout
another
out.
team he owns too. There's one more team that he owns too. It's not a major sporting
I
league, but I think he owns another hockey team.
I think what will be interesting is going to be what the Heat are going to do. You know, they were pretty banged up. Also, Oladipo obviously was gone. Hero didn't come in. A lot of people are saying they're going to go for Beal. They could trade. They want to say they were going to trade Hero and Robinson. I feel like that's be interesting to trade 2 decent role players to
Why
get
would you get
Beal.
rid of Hero, man?
Yeah,
Beal's not that great.
I think they have a good forward center combo in Bam
Not
and
for
Butler.
50 mil a year either.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because a lot of people are saying the Sixers should get Beal, but like I'd rather
No.
I would rather get somebody else. Like
see if we
Well,
get-
like you said, Seth Curry he's a great
well,
spot
obviously the biggest thing is for the Sixers to extend Maxey and then try to re-sign Harden.
there. Hey JJ, can you come out of retirement and come play
Right.
for us again? I think we'll probably win one.
I saw somewhere that
Yeah.
JJ could be a possible
Coach.
coach. Yeah.
At one
The
point, he was
dude is one
leading.
of the
He was
best
leading
shooters.
Vegas odds to be the Sixers' next head coach.
I would have loved to see it, man, but he likes what he's doing, dude. He's got a great job over there with ESPN. He's not going anywhere. But yeah, so that's gonna get into our subpar segment.
Yawn.
Yeah, I
Let's
know.
go.
I will
go.
say David's hot take of the week is starting off really strong. He tied the lowest first round record in US Open history with a 62. Unfortunately, it was tied again by a guy that was
Xander.
matching him all day in Xander Schauffele.
Xander Schauffele.
You go out there and just shoot a 62 in these conditions. I mean, that's unreal. I will say Fowler proved today, if you hit fairways, things can happen. Now, these greens are big. So if you hit fairways, and Fowler's a great putter. So this has this course is made for him as long as he stays in the fairways. But the next closest people to them are 5 strokes behind. And it's the first day. 5 strokes, dude. Schauffele and Fowler went out there and outperformed everyone. I don't see them following it up. I think they'll have a decent round tomorrow, but I don't see them following it up. I mean, you have to watch out for Bryson DeChambeau and Scotty Scheffler that are 5 strokes behind. Yes, it's 5 strokes, but still. But
I
don't know.
A stroke.
I don't know. It's looking like it's going to be a fun U.S. Open. I am mind blown that someone went out there in these conditions and shot -8. I mean, U.S. Open, you're used to seeing someone win at -5. So we'll see where it ends up. I like the layout. It's a fun layout.
I don't really know
Nice.
much to add to that. It's just I'm glad Ricky's doing well. Like I said, I feel like he was getting hot at the right time. He's been playing really good golf in the past couple of weeks, couple of months, and I just had a feeling he could go out and do something well. Xander Schauffele, for some reason, is always in the hunt when it comes to these big tournaments. He never wins them, I feel, but he's always in the hunt for them. So it'd be interesting.
Growing up, I love Fowler, right? He's my favorite golfer to watch. I mean, he's been close to a major, but has never won one. He had one taken away from him from Tiger, which, I mean, Tiger, you can't you can't argue with Tiger, but just I would love to see him get one, but it's going to be hard. Xander, there's a reason why he's a top 5 player in the world. So if he can edge him just a little bit,
Ooh,
I
edge him.
know. Show him the way, Ricky. We got your back over here. So that's gonna get me into my bet of the week. Last week, Christian had to wear a dress throughout the entire podcast. It was hilarious. I really don't want to lose this one. But my bet of the week is going to stay on the same lines of the PGA at the US Open. I'm going Cameron Young will finish in the top 10 this week at the US Open. I know what you're saying. Top 10's not crazy, but that's still hard to do.
Where's he ranked right now?
Last I checked, he was at 30th. He was at even par. I just think I hope he gets done. Cameron, please, can you go out there
Cameron,
and do your
please.
thing? Because I really don't want to lose. So
Not bad. Not bad.
that's gonna get us into our Goldies locks of the week. And Christian, how are you doing on those Goldies locks?
Still over, buddy. We're still over.
How did you
Dude,
last week on your
dude.
legs?
What were the legs last week again?
I don't know.
Yeah, dude, that's you. I will say, dude, if we need to rebrand this, we will.
Goldies
But
maybes.
I will say
Goldies maybes.
Goldies, I hope it happens.
he is a football better. So these are his iffy picks.
Yeah,
dude, are you gonna put a bet on Joey Chestnut for the hot dog eating contest this year?
No,
You think he's gonna lose?
Missed
No.
opportunity.
not at all. But dude, it's not gonna be enough value on the money line. All right. Well, crafted up another 3-leg parlay here, boys. When we're going all the way teams to get the win on this one. So to start with it, I had the Phillies at the A's. I feel like this one, Phillies are getting real hot right now. A's, they might be getting hot, but they're still.
Nelly.
So I feel like the money line here for the Phillies is definitely looking like a good one. It also should be noted that it is June, so it's kind of hard to pick against the Phillies right now. So that's going to be the first lock. Second lock is going to be the Orioles at the Cubs. I'm going to go with the Orioles again on the money line. Now,
Ooh, get it done in Wrigley.
playing at Wrigley Field against the Cubs, not always the easiest thing to do. However, Orioles playing out of their mind right now. Very good team ball. What does that look for?
We were just wondering when you were coming back in. You got to watch out for that Ivy.
That ID. And then for the last leg, we're going to go with the Angels on the money line at the Royals. I don't necessarily know who the pitchers are coming into that day, so that's a matchup I can't tell you. I do know the show will not be on the mound that day, though. But okay, they're looking like one of the not a huh?
No, you're
They're
good.
looking okay. They're not looking crazy good, but they're not looking crazy bad. And the Royals are now currently, I believe, have the worst record in baseball after a win the other night by the A's. So I'll take the Angels on the money line for that.
Does Mike Trout finally earn that All-Star vote? He better, because he is not playing well. Mike Trout, as a New Jersey Cherry Hill native, that's a Philly fan, please go out there and earn that spot.
Yeah.
So I like those picks, man. I think those three can really get it done at, away. Sorry.
Right.
But that's going to get us into our last segment, guys.
Yes, sir.
I can't lose another one. David, I'm just going to take whatever you have.
Okay.
You had 8 correct. I
Okay.
can't argue with that.
I had 7. Or was it 6?
Yeah,
It was
but
7.
I had 5 last week, and I felt pretty good about that. But you guys,
You should. It's a moral victory.
It is. That's 3 better than I've done in the past 3 times. So.
Dude, I had 7 right, and I picked the A's, so fuck off.
Oh, Friday's games. We'll
Sir.
start with Pirates Brewers.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a great one, guys. I just want to throw that out here.
Nah, I don't want to throw that out there because I bet on the Pirates in my parlay the past 2 nights for in total the hittings would have been worth $500, and 2 nights in a row they lost as my only leg on the parlays. Give me the Brewers. I don't want the Pirates.
Yeah, I'm coming off a 8-1 week. I'm on a high. I'm highly taken, if you will. But this is my number one enemy, the Brewers. This is a tough one because if I pick for or against, I know they're going to either win or lose. I feel like Nick's going to pick whichever one I do the opposite of now. So I do have the Brewers winning.
Fuck, wrong pick.
Yeah, guys. I mean, this series is gonna, potentially tell who's going to lead this division by the end of the weekend. Give me those Brewers, David. I'm rolling on your back. Let's go. Going into the second game, we got the Guardians versus the Diamondbacks, or if they like to call it, the comebacks.
I don't know if they like to call it that.
Well, that's what their announcers like to call it.
Playing at home, I mean the Diamondbacks. I believe they still are. Are they first? I believe still in the NL over there in
The Dodgers have been awful. They're like 2-8 in the last 10.
Rip hot take. Yeah, they screwed it up. I mean, the
Um,
Diamondbacks haven't been playing good either.
yeah, I mean, I know that they just lost 2 out of 3 to Philly,
Three
but
out of four.
3 out of 4. I'm sorry, yeah, 3 out of 4 to Philly. But I mean,
That's a long one.
mediocre team in Cleveland. I'm gonna go with the Diamondbacks.
Thank you for that long pause so I could get
You're
your
welcome.
pick.
So we have a Gallon has been having an amazing year this year. He's 7.2 to 3.09 ERA, and the Guardians are just meh this year. So I think the D backs are going to do this at home.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for me to go against the Diamondbacks. They just took 3 out of 4 losses this week. I don't think they're gonna take another one. They're gonna win. They're gonna win absolutely. Diamondbacks at home. Love it. Getting into our last game on Friday. Christian, we got White Sox versus Mariners.
Give me 2 seconds. My computer's about to die, and the charger's fucking up.
And just so you know, guys, just make sure, just stay responsible. Be responsible about what's going on. Make sure you're keeping everything charged. Make sure nothing dies.
Right. I had a power outage last night. My laptop's charged. So I don't know what you're doing over there, Christian.
What are you doing, Christian?
What? Yeah. What is he doing with that laptop?
Yeah. Whatever. I don't
We
know how.
call him the two pump jump. All right, so that's gonna get us into our
Putting the
last
cum in
game.
computer.
Last game on Friday. We'll go White Sox Mariners.
At the Mariners, I'm gonna roll with the home team again. I'm gonna go with the Mariners.
Yeah, it's two mediocre pitching for both teams. I think it's going to come down to the bats, and the Mariners will just have the better bats. So I'm going to go Mariners at home.
All right, guys, doing something a little different here. Give me the Mariners at home. I
So,
absolutely love it. If you guys can't tell what's going on, maybe you'll
are you just picking the same ones as us to get to the tiebreaker?
hey, I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose.
Dude,
Let it
oh
at
my
least be
God.
noted that I'm the first one throwing out all the picks, so y'all are copying me.
I don't care. So that's gonna go into our first game on Saturday. It's against two red hot teams. We'll go Phillies versus A's.
Yeah. I already took the Phillies line for the bet, so I'm gonna go with the Phillies.
Yeah, this is the battle of the two old Philadelphia teams. If you didn't know, the A's are from Philadelphia. These are two of the hottest teams in baseball right now. The Phillies haven't decided who their starter is, but Capri Lane is going to be on the mound for Oakland. He's 2 for 6 with a 6.89 ERA, which won't do in June when you're playing against the Phillies. So I have the Phillies in that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's June, man. You can't go up against the Phillies. I like them. I love it. It's the Philly matchup, basically. Um, the only thing that scares me is the fact they haven't announced who the starter's going to be, which leads me to believe it's going to be a bullpen game.
Yeah, like Strom or something.
Yeah, but I mean, Strom looks decent. I didn't like the fact that they took him out of that game too early, like that early. But Phillies get it done. It's going to be a high scoring game. Give it to the Phillies. Next game, you got to always have this on this list whenever they play each other. Yankees versus Red Sox.
Yeah, I think the series starts tomorrow, I believe. I think the Red Sox are gonna take game one, but I think Yankees come back to take game two. So I'm gonna take the Yankees in that one.
I feel like it's a real toss-up of a game. Again, it's two really underwhelming pitchers, but Bello is the better of the two of the pitchers. They're playing at Fenway, so I'm going to give it to the Sox in this one.
Do I stay on course with David?
You've been picking the same one as me?
I do not. I'm going Yankees. I think they get a road win on Saturday. It got to be a little different. Then that's going to get us into our last game on Saturday. Angels versus Royals.
Royals are the worst team in baseball now after a couple A's wins. So give me the Angels.
I had the same thing. Angels have been amazing this year, which is surprising. The Royals are pretty trash this year as well, so I'm going to have the Angels pulling this one out.
I want to go Royals. But
No,
give me the Angels,
I
man.
wanna
Nah,
go
Mike Trout's gonna have a good.
Royals.
He's gonna have a good game this game on Saturday. Last day, Sunday. I think I picked some pretty good games here. We'll go Reds versus Astros.
oh, that's not a bad game. Games and but Alvarez just got put onto the IL, didn't he? Jordan Alvarez.
Did he?
Well, I should have seen that before I chose him for my All-Star game.
Mm.
Yeah. Uh. Reds. Screw it. I'll take the Reds away.
For anyone that didn't hear that, he said the Reds.
Yeah, the Reds have been red hot. They're currently only 1.5 games back of first place in the NL Central. They play the reigning champs in the Houston Astros. Browns on the mound for the Astros, 6-3 record, 3.3 ERA against Weaver, who is 1-2 with a 6.23 ERA. So I'm going to have Houston winning that at home.
I gotta say, man, I think the Reds are gonna go down there. They're going to roll their windows down and cruise. De La Cruz has a great game. Give me the Reds. Give me the Reds on a win at away.
That's a lot. That's a lot for that payoff there, Nick. Not going to lie.
Oh, I had to do it. De La Cruz looks good, man. He's quick. He's very quick.
He's not Trey Turner quick, but he's quick.
No, he's faster than Trey Turner. Are you serious?
Trey Turner just recorded the fastest sprint.
No, he just recorded the fastest sprint in his career.
No, in the season today.
So that's going to get us into our second game, the Blue Jays versus Rangers. Another tough one.
I'm going to go with the Blue Jays. Thank you.
Right. So we have two of the better teams in baseball right now. Two good pitchers, but Gray is pitching as well. He is 6-2, the 2.3 3 ERA for the Rangers. The Rangers bats are just better than the Jays in my opinion, so I'm going to take the Rangers.
Yeah, I'm with David on this one. I mean, Rangers are red hot. They one of the best bats in baseball. Give me the Rangers at home on that one. That's going to get us into our last game. Could possibly see the World Series. Rays versus Padres.
I'm not sure about that.
It's possible.
You said Rays versus Padres. That's the possible World Series.
Where did the Padres go last year?
Right, but aren't the Padres under 500 right now?
Oh no.
Thanks.
Weren't the Phillies under 500 this time last year?
I mean, maybe.
I don't know.
They were.
One way or another, I'll take the Rays.
Yeah, Rays haven't decided who's pitching yet. We got Musgrove for the Padres, who isn't doing too bad this season. The Padres have had a decent June so far. They're at home, but I'm going to take the Rays in this away game.
Nice.
Based off of David's choice there, give me the Padres. Give me the Padres.
As long as you're picking different than me, it's fine.
No, I mean, yeah, I picked two separate ones than you. I picked two separate ones.
Yeah, but one separate one than me.
That's not true.
How?
What do you mean? How? I'm gonna look back on this, but I definitely didn't pick the same ones. No way.
All right, so give us our tiebreaker because this one's gonna be very important this week.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I can't remember the tiebreaker. You gotta.
I don't think you gave us a tiebreaker.
Okay. Yeah, I just realized I didn't give you the tiebreaker. So this is the game I wanted to go to for the tiebreaker. Let's go.
This is the game you wanted to go to, but you don't know which game.
Let's go Tigers versus Twins.
At home, I'll take the Twins.
Yeah, so you got the Twins, Tigers. You know, the Tigers are a pretty bad team this year.
Hold on, stop. He didn't give me.
Oh yeah, what's the score?
He said the.
My fault. I totally forgot that. Yeah. Let me get the Twins. 4-3.
That's a good one.
So again, it's the Tigers have not decided who they're going to pitch that game. Varland's pitching for the Twins. He has a 4.70 ERA. I do think the Twins win this one at home, but I think the final score will be along the lines of 6-5.
I'm going Tigers take this one. I think the Tigers win 5-3. Guys, I hope I don't come in last this week. We shall see. I can't wait. But as always, have a great weekend. See everybody back on Monday.
You have a good weekend. Get your cats spayed and neutered. Hopefully Christian, will do better in his Goldilocks before I have to change it to Goldie. Maybe it'll happen.
We shall see. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
Deuces.
They drop knowledge and hot takes at the sports IQ. We dive into the game from hoops to gridiron, analyzing every play like we was the champion. With witty banter and humor, we keep it fun. HTP fam, we always bring the number one. Highlight taking pockets, we taking over the scene. We drop dubs and chugs, living the sports dream. From hot takes to deep dive, it's a winning regime. Come join the hype, we not just blowing steam.